Hey everyone, today we're going to be talking about what to expect when you're driving on a banking for the very first time. It's completely different than anything else that we experience as race car drivers. And for a lot of drivers, the first time that they're on the track, the first time they go through the banking, they often get disoriented because they don't know where to look. The G loads are very different. So just to give you guys a little bit of a heads up of what to expect, we're going to use the onboard camera here and we'll get right into it. So I know this isn't the Texas Motor Speedway Roval, but the Daytona Speedway is very similar in terms of pretty steep banking here. So we get an idea of what we are going to need to execute on. So to start off talking about bankings, the very first thing that's important to cover is leading onto a banking. They're typically almost always, when you're coming up onto a banking, it's like coming onto a straightaway. We're going to be flat out for a long period of time. So the previous corner, what's important? The important things are getting back to full throttle as early as possible, right here at the apex, right as you're ready to start unwinding the steering wheel. We want to be aggressive back to throttle there. We don't want to touch the throttle any earlier than that because that's going to create understeer, and that's going to delay when we can start to unwind that steering wheel and when we can get back to full throttle. So at that apex point, as we start to unwind, committing hard back to throttle. And then the important thing here is what we're going to see is let the car drift up the banking as we come onto it here, right there. See how we drift up the wall to the wall. You want to be as smooth as possible so we're not scrubbing speed. So at this point here, this is where the banking's really going to start to come on. We're going to critically here have slow inputs. Anytime we have a high-speed corner, we want to be slow with our hands. So pretty early turning point, it's something that's good to know. If you're driving into a cambered corner, uphill corners, downhill corners, we typically want a little bit earlier of a turning point. So we want to use that banking. When you turn later more aggressively, you're not using the extra grip the banking can give you. So early, and then you see dropping downhill, and we really want a nice long apex here. You want to come down to the apron. Now, some critical points here are, number one, we want to stay off. We want to stay off of the apron. So we want our left front tire and left rear tire, as close to that apron as possible without getting down onto that. Could really upset the car. So be close. Precision really matters. The next thing here, which is often not talked about, is where are you going to be looking? So if you're looking where you normally look out the race car, you're going to be staring at the road right in front of you. You'll roughly be looking right here. So you don't see very much racetrack. So while you're in the race car, the place that you actually end up looking is out the kind of top left of the windscreen. So you'll be in the car, you're almost picking your head up and looking up, and you're trying to look as far forward as possible. One of the reasons why bankings can disorient drivers is because you don't see very far in front of you. You just see often right off the front of the car unless you pick up and look up through the car. You're looking through the banking. Not only does that help you orient yourself, but it's also safer because when you can't see very far in front of you, if for whatever reason cars are backing up, if there's a safety car and you're trying to catch the back of the pack, you don't see very far in front of you, and you're going at very high speed. So really critical to get your eyes up, looking through the windscreen. Sometimes for any drivers that are running this kind of banner across the windscreen, sometimes our teams will actually cut out a little section on the driver's side at the bottom of it so we can see a little bit farther in front of us. The next thing is talking about G loads. We're so used to G loads affecting our body, just laterally. In the banking, you should expect to have G's pushing you down into the seat and a little bit lateral. So you're going to often be pushed further down. So just something to think about. If you're already far away from the steering wheel, if your hands are not in the correct position, we have tons of information for that at Racers360. But really quick, if you can't keep your shoulders on the back of the seat, put your hand over the steering wheel. It should be on your wrist. If you can't do that, you're too far away from the steering wheel, and that's where bankings, as you get pushed down and farther away, that becomes an even bigger issue. So seat position, critical. Eye position, looking top left. Expect a little bit of G's pushing you down, and that's going to set you up to be successful through the banking. The next thing is here, once you're in the banking, looking up, be smooth, smooth, smooth. We're looking for where the banking starts to come out, which is often longer than you think. You want a very smooth release of the steering wheel as you come out. You don't want to start releasing too early. So you can see here, right in front of us, right here, that's where the banking's starting to end. See how I'm still all the way down. It's only once I get the car coming out of the banking, once I get there, that I want to start to smoothly release out of here. So right now you can see I'm at that point. Now is when I want to start releasing, because I want to use all of that extra camber, all of that extra grip I can get. Once the road starts to come up, smooth release, let it drift out pretty close to the wall. And that's all you need to know to be successful and fast around the banking. Good luck, have fun, and if there's anything else we could do for you at Racers360, we'd love to work with you. We have some of the best coaches in the world that you can access for personalized coaching. All you have to do is send your onboard film, just like this, or data from any system, and they'll go through turn by turn and really give you everything you need to know on how to drive faster and safer. So we'll go beyond just talking about bankings. We'll talk about every corner, trail braking, throttle position, eye position, everything to help gain time and be safer. Visit us at Racers360.com to learn more. Have fun.